like this?
Yeah, but he has to carry it around so he doesn't get.
It goes on your side though, not like this. If somebody, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if anybody come to me and I got that weapon on me and you coming with a gun in my face, you dead. I don't care if I don't know how to shoot it, I'll probably get it. But I'm gonna tell you right now, that's it, because you can't play with your life. Now, if you got a gun on your side, I mean, I can't, you doing your own thing, that's different. But if you come into my house and it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you don't even know where I live, and that, no, we gotta have some sense on that one. I'm not gonna be like, praise the Lord. No, guys, hey, y'all better have y'all weapon ready and fire. I'm just saying.
Thank you about that. Because what you guys can say?
Well, I was going to say, like you spoke up, Pastor, you said 1 + 1. We know what that answer is. When I think of the devil himself, I think about he was tossed out of heaven.
Yeah.
He knows he can never go back. He knows God loves us because he sent his only son. He won't get another son to die for us so that we may be able to go to heaven. To me, common sense says if the devil was tossed out of where we could, potentially go by our choices, he's going to try and stop us. I mean, bottom line with the temptation is he's going to tempt us as lovers of Jesus hard, really hard, because his goal is to minimize as many souls as possible from going where he wished he could go.
Yes.
And I think if we think about it like that, we know what his intentions are. We can see him coming before he even arrives. And as we keep on our armor, as we stay in the presence of God, it's like, it's almost like a force field around us. He can come towards us, but he can't kill us.
Right.
And to me, I look at everything in my life and I say, if it's not of God, then who else is it of?
Right. It's either
It's
or.
simple.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's no
great.
straddling the fence. It's either, like you said, it's either God or nothing.
Right.
It's either you worshiping the devil or you worshiping God. And as far as all the different religions and the different doctrines and all of this, to me, when God created the heavens, the earth, and everything that dwelleth within, it's so, if you read the Bible, it says he said us and our. Who was he talking to? So for any religion that don't believe that Jesus is the Son of God, who was God talking to?
Right.
And why would he say, I sacrificed my only son, which says he was there, which says if a part of him is within us, there's got to be the Holy Spirit, which is his son. To me, it's like 1 + 1.
It's 2.
Did you bring that again?
That's awesome.
So, if the devil was in heaven, he got kicked out, and you go to heaven, can't you also get kicked out too?
Oh, he ain't gonna let that happen again.
No.
No.
So,
If you go up there, you made it on your own for real.
Yes.
That's why God don't force us to serve him.
Right.
If that makes sense. If you make it, you made it because you wanted to be there. So there's no reason to get kicked out. You made it.
so the reason why the devil was kicked out of heaven was because he did something to get kicked out of heaven. He tried to bring everybody with him to rise up against God. Are you trying to rise up against God? All right, then you're not going to get kicked out. You can't get kicked out of heaven. God is a God of order. Why would God redo something for it to happen again
Right.
and again?
Right.
Does it make sense?
Right.
Yes, Anastasia?
God and Jesus loves everybody. Do they love the devil?
Sorry, you say that again? I can't hear you.
God and Jesus love everybody. Do they love the devil? Yes.
You said, do they love? Who's they?
God and Jesus.
God and Jesus. Does God and Jesus love the devil?
Yes.
Yeah, I say yes because he created them.
Yeah.
Because he still loves
But, okay, just like the murderer. He loves the murderer, right? But he hates the sin. He loved the one that does adultery and fornication, but he hates the sin. In other words, he loves the sinner, because the devil is a what?
Sinner.
He loves the sinner, but he hates the sin. We serve a just God. So if he says he is love, how can he hate? But he got the wrath too, don't get that wrong. That doesn't mean hate, that means he has a side of him that you don't want to fool with. So,
Yes.
but that's the best I can
Two things
Okay.
with God and Jesus loving the devil. It's like your father and your son has done something that's very bad. You're what's the word I'm looking for? You're
Disappointed?
extremely disappointed. You know you have to
You may be
punish him.
angry too.
Yeah, you
It's
know
okay
you
to
have
be
to
angry.
punish him, but that doesn't mean you don't love him.
Right.
And I love how you said they know the wrath too of God, because most people I know, they know about the city. They know how he helped Solomon and Gomorrah escape, but they forget about that city he completely wiped out.
Right.
They know how Moses built the boat and survived, but they forget about God completely. No, Moses same thing. I get them confused. I'm sorry.
It's okay, it's okay.
But they forget that he completely flooded the whole planet.
Right.
So,
That's good.
all right, that's it.
Yes.
You know, he loves the murderer, but he hates the sin.
Yeah.
The fact that he still loves the murderer but hates the sin gives us that choice or that chance to enter heaven.
You always have it. Yes.
I
That's
don't
deep.
know about loving the devil
If you think about it.
because
Yes.
he damned him to hell.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is like the worst place.
Quick question for you. A lot of us gonna be damned to hell. He
So,
created all things. So think about it.
Right?
How many of us, don't raise your hand. But how many of us know we are damned for hell? Because of how we live. Don't raise your hands, I don't need to know. Think about it for a second. But does he love you? See, because he's a just God, let me explain this real quick. Because he's a just God, he tells us who's gonna make it and who's not gonna make it, right? Just means what? Righteous. Whatever he says is what he needs to do. Now, he really didn't want to do that. He didn't put us in hell. I hear people say, oh, God's not gonna, he's not putting us in hell. We don't serve a God that puts us in hell. You put yourself in hell. If you go against what he says to do, you're putting yourself there. Okay, you stole something. You got caught. They don't want to put you in jail, but they have to. You have to obey the law of the
Land.
Don't blame your mommy and your daddy because they didn't give you no money. That was your fault. You didn't obey the law of the land. You went and you stole when you wasn't supposed to. You went and you killed somebody that you wasn't supposed to kill. So because you didn't obey the law of the land, there's consequences for what you do. So let's go back to the devil now. He would have never been in heaven if he was never loved. And God is not going to love you and then hate you. Get where I'm going with this? So we cannot hate the devil, but we can hate what he does. Does that make sense? Because if we teach and hate, that is not of God. He just hates the sin, but he loves the sinner. You get what I'm trying to say? If he created the devil himself, why do you think the devil came? He didn't create himself. How did he come with it? Can anybody tell me how did he come here? How did he get into heaven? Let's think about it. Who created him? But he tried to be like who? He tried to be like God. And he's trying to do it again here on the earth. So he is love. He does love. But wherever you decide to go, that's on you, like crazy blue. That's just what it is. So we have to get out the picture of God wouldn't do this. He ain't doing that. His word is his word. He's a just God. Because he's a just God, that means he's a righteous God. That means if he says, if you do A, B, C all the way down to Z, that's where you're going to end up. That's what it is. If we believe it, great. If we don't, you'll see when you die. That's what I tell people. You don't believe what I'm saying? When you die, you'll see. If you don't believe, you'll see. And I always tell them that because I know what I'm talking about, you know? And there was people that we even spoke with that saw death. And they came back to say, man, hell is real. Lazarus. Lazarus. And even the rich man. Where did Lazarus end up? Where did he end up? Talk to me.
Lazarus.
Lazarus. Remember Lazarus? And the rich man? The rich man was, man, he was evil. But he opened his eye. How are you going to open your eye in the grave? Think about these things, y'all. He opened his eyes in hell. He was tormented. How can you be tormented and you're dead? You get where I'm going with this? The Bible tells us he was tormented day and night, night and day. He says, Father Abraham, send Lazarus to put water on my tongue. He was tormented in flames. So why did it happen then and it's not going to happen again? When the book of Revelation tells us our destination, the book of Genesis also tells us a lot from the beginning, how God created. It also tells us how he felt about us when we disobeyed him. He wished he never even created us. He wished we was dead, man. That's crazy. And when you start studying the word and you want to learn about love and how you're supposed to love, go to the book of Song of Solomon. I mean, the Bible is everything that you want to ever need. But what I will tell you is don't skip anything because somebody told you just do it this way. Be led by the Spirit. Take your time from Genesis all the way down to Revelation. Read it, study it, and say, Holy Spirit, speak to me. And I guarantee y'all, he gonna speak to y'all. But if you don't ask him, he ain't gonna do it. He says, call unto me. That's the word. That's in the Bible. Call unto me, and I will answer and show you great and mighty things. And if we're not calling unto him and we're not seeing things, then we're not gonna see it. If we call unto him, he says he will show us great and mighty things. And I've been calling unto him. That's how come I know. Does it make sense now? So if you're not calling unto him, then you're going to say, well, I don't believe in this. Okay. I believe in that. Okay. But if you call unto him, we have to walk this journey. I went through this a while ago. We have to walk this journey every day by faith, not by sight. That's the best way.
There you go. So you're talking about God loving the devil, right? So why would God create devil in the first place? It wasn't intentional for this to happen. And if God hated the devil, would he destroy him? Probably. If God hated anybody, which God doesn't, wouldn't God destroy them right then and there? Think about the time of Noah. God regretted making us. And that's a perfect example of God destroying mankind. If God hated the devil, wouldn't he destroy him right then and there? Why go through all of these things? Because God is a God of order. And he's a just and righteous God, as we were talking about. So that's why it's not going to happen then and there. But it will happen eventually. Because you guys know we're living in the end times.
Yeah, we are.
End days. And Revelation is a really good time to bring up Revelation. There'll be another teaching next time. But basically, because we're living in the end days, it'll be like in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah. So what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah? Like what was going on then? So tell me some examples of what was happening.
Everything.
Everything.
Like brothers were sleeping with sisters. There was men sleeping with men. There was murder going all around, rape going all around, kicking doors in on people, killing everybody in there.
Did you see that today?
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
The Bible tells us, he says, what is the sign of your coming? He says, like in the day of Noah, right? And so we see, as we read that scripture in the book of Matthew, we see they were drinking and there was, it's not bad to celebrate, y'all. It's not bad to celebrate. But they were drinking and they were partying. We see this happening today. We don't even know who God is anymore. We don't even care who he is anymore, as we can see. And so it's the same thing that happened back then is happening again today. He said these are the signs of the last days of his coming. So he's coming. I don't want y'all to, we don't have time, but maybe I'll explain to you guys one day when I had a dream of what he told me to tell the people. Man, I woke up out of my dream like, it was it was some serious, powerful stuff. Because a lot of people don't believe. And when he comes, he's going to come as a twinkling of an eye. It's in the word. And you ain't going to have time to say, oh, I'm sorry, no, I believe. It's going to be too late. You're going to be gone. Going from mortal to immortality. And so that's a whole nother message. But like I tell everybody, before I knew the God that I serve, I'd rather believe. What are you going to lose if you believe? What are you losing if you believe? Anybody can answer that. If you believe, okay, if you believe you're going to be successful, what are you losing? Huh? Nothing. If you became successful, great. If you didn't, oh well. You believe, right? What are you going to do if you believe in this Jesus? What are you going to lose?
Everything.
If you believe, no, you're not going to lose. So if I believe in Jesus, if I believe in the Holy Spirit, if I believe that I'm going to make it, if I believe and I believe and I believe, what am I going to lose? My question is, the ones that don't believe, what are you going to lose? Now watch this. What if I believe and everything that I believe is not even what it is? What did I lose? Now let's go to the ones that did not believe. Right? And say it's the same thing with you. What have you lose? If it was in my favor, you're going to lose everything. So you have to think about it. The one that believes is going to lose nothing. But the one that do not believe, they will lose everything.
That's very good teaching on that one. Because if that's basically saying the scenario, yes, I can say.
But, oh, wait, never mind. I thought about it and I didn't.
Yes?
Well, you know, people that I've talked to that don't believe, they all feel like I'm going to lose everything. I won't be able to do this. I won't be able to do that. I won't be able to go here. I won't be able to go there. That's all a trick of the enemy. Because you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. So for a non-believer to feel like they're going to lose something instead of I'm going to gain everything, that's a trick of the mind. You know, and because they don't believe is why they don't understand
Yeah.
But who speaks to the mind?
the devil, the enemy.
And let me tell you why we're saying this. Not because we want to just say it to make you believe it. The Bible tells us to renew the mind. Why would he tell us to renew the mind if he talks to the mind? He tells us to renew the mind and have the mind of who?
Christ.
I just proved it again. Now this is all in the word, right? Now watch this. So if God speaks to the mind, what I'm showing you is God don't speak to your mind. God speaks to the heart. So if God was speaking to your mind, he would never tell you to renew it because he's speaking to it. But he tells us to renew the mind, have the mind of Christ. God speaks to the heart. So like you were saying, they talk to the mind and they feeling like that's not God, that's the devil that's speaking. He's the prince of the air, of the cosmos, which is the world. So when we learn to really get understanding, now we can now walk in purpose. Does that make sense?
And I just wanted to add, the proof that the devil speaks to the mind is people that I know, that I really know, that have what society constitutes as a diagnosis. It's always a mental thing.
Yeah.
And that's because God, he speaks to your heart. If your heart is in love with Jesus, of course the devil's going to mess with your mind
Yeah, that's his job.
because he's trying to take you away from God, not bring you towards him. He's going to
Yeah.
mess with your mind.
Yeah, he did that with me a long time ago.
People that have gotten
Never did.
diagnosed with something mental, but if you really talk to them, they have the purest and best in it. The most loving heart.
Hey, for adding
God
that.
speaks to the heart. There you go
God
again.
speaks to your heart.
There you go again. Or you might say, I feel like doing this, but deep down in your heart, you don't want to do it. You know what I mean? How many of y'all felt that? I did a long time ago. I did. I feel like, but then something was like in my heart, that's not my character. You understand what I'm saying to you? So you have the mind fighting the heart.
Yeah.
And you have two people coming after your soul.
Yes, yes.
You have the devil coming after your soul. And you have God coming after your soul. And he gives us pastors to also come after your soul. in a good way so that you don't end up on the road to destruction. Does that make sense? But if we believe, he says, you know, his word says, only if you believe. Not what you think, what you can see, what you can feel. The senses gotta go. That's gonna mess up the spiritual part. But if you could only believe, he tells us, if you could only believe.
Yes, he said.
Okay, so I want to ask something. So when you said if you believe, you lose nothing, but Job believed and he lost everything, but then he got
Job.
back. Spells Job. Anyways, but he believed and he lost everything, but then he finally got it back. So can't you still lose something, but don't you get it back?
But when you get it back, you get back more than what you have lost. Because he got back more than what he has lost. And think about Job for a second. Job's wife was cursed God and died. I mean, it was time he lost her. She was not a helpmate. I'm just being real with y'all. That needs to be gone. That's like how we say, this one just needs to go. Like, you ain't even a help in my life. Right? So, but when he lost all that, he gained back more than he had ever lost, if that makes sense. So it was a good loss. Because he gave, I had to just put it out there, okay? The sister wasn't helping the brother. So, but yeah, he got back even more when,
Yeah.
but he didn't give his soul to the devil either. And God knew that he wasn't going to do that. He's not going to take his soul away. Job is a faithful, chosen, yeah. Just like us today. I mean, we could lose things too, but what, you going to give up on God because you lose some stuff? That's where your faith comes in, to trust that it's going to even get better. Okay, so.
I get your question in 1 second.
Gotcha.
But I'd like to add on to that. You're saying that Job lost something. You never take something as a loss, because it's really just a build up to what you become greater on.
Right.
So what's only you, is to say you got a bad grade. Isn't that your loss? But isn't that your learning as well? Because you're not going to get that bad grade again. You change it. You have to change what you're doing to become greater. You can't just lose and keep losing because you're never learning. It's just going to keep happening over and over again. But if you change what you're doing with humility, it'll come back. And you will rebuild greater than what you was before. So a loss is never a loss if you're humble.
Right.
So you're
That's deep,
saying,
yeah.
Oh, I was actually gonna say, like, I forgot his name, even though I shouldn't, but he betrayed Jesus.
Judas?
Let him think. See? Let the
Judas.
Spirit speak to the brother.
It's
Because it was going to come.
because you should always cherish your Judas. Because when you hit rock bottom, you see the true nature of everybody. Like Mom, like you've told us before, you've seen it before, you helped everybody. But as soon as you hit rock bottom, there was people who completely walked away from you. That's how you know who is true to you.
Yes.
Because,
Yes.
I mean, the dude walked away from Jesus for like 2 quarters. I mean, come on now, let's be serious.
He was really smart. Huh?
Like, dude was Einstein here. So yeah.
That's good. That's a good.
That was a good idea to put into it. But as well as we were saying before, a loss is never a loss.
Right.
But there's very significant to that. It would be a loss if you're not humble. Why? Because you're not willing to change what you're doing. If you're humble, what are you going to do? You're going to change what you're doing.
Ooh, this just came.
Okay?
And it would also be a loss if you trust in that thing, that person, that job. You get what I'm saying? Now it becomes a loss to you. To us, it's a gain. Because we see things in a whole different way than the regular person, if that makes sense. So it only becomes a loss if that's all you put your trust in. Does that make sense? If I put my trust in this here and I lose it, to me it's a loss because that's what I was trusting in. But if I'm trusting in Him, if I know His Spirit lives in me, I know it's not a loss. I know greater and better is yet to come. That's good.
So that's actually a really good example because in the Bible it talks about a rich being hard for a rich man to make it to heaven. It didn't say it was impossible for a rich man to make it to heaven, but it was hard. Why? Because he never lost anything. If you lost something, wouldn't you have a different perspective of it? So before you got where you was today, you've lost something to get here. It's a sacrifice. But did you change something to get here?
Yes.
So if a rich man never lost anything, would they ever change anything?
Right.
So why would they ever need God? That's a very question. So it's not saying that you can't be rich and still make it to heaven. It will be hard. Why? Because you have everything. When you have everything, you don't need God, do you? Be honest here. If you have everything you ever needed,
Right.
why would you need God?
That's why I always say have God first, then everything else. Because the Bible tells us, seek the what? Kingdom first. And his righteousness and everything shall be what?
Added
There we go. So as long as you're seeking his kingdom first, because everything that's on this earth is about his kingdom, or it's supposed to be. It's all about his kingdom. So if you seek his kingdom first and his righteousness, he says everything shall be added unto you. You don't have to try to find it. You don't have to try to work hard to get it. Things are added to you. And I got another example of that, but I don't have time. So at the end of the day, we have to just trust God through everything in our life, and we're going to be okay. He said, cast your cares upon him. Take that burden off your back. The only thing you need to carry on your back, he said, pick up your cross and follow me. But don't put anything else on you. Live one day at a time. This is just how I live, by the way. I live one day at a time. I enjoy every day, and I keep it moving. I breathe when I get time to breathe. I exhale when I get time. I laugh. I make jokes. That's just me. I live like it's my last day. Not saying it will be, but I live like it is my last day. So I don't have no regrets. And I know, like I was saying the other day, don't cry for me. And I know it's going to happen. But I'm not crying for nobody. When I'm gone, because I'm in a better place. You get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
I know where I'm going. And I want everybody that's here to know their destination. Not to hope. I need you to know your destination. Because God forbid if something happens, we got to be ready. We got to be prepared. We got to just make sure that we have humbled ourselves. Hear what God is saying. By his spirit. Obeyed his word. And now we're ready to live for eternity. But we got to live for eternity one day. I don't live on my temporary. This is all I'm going to go. I live for eternity. And if you keep that here, you're going to make decisions differently in your life. Because there's no friends in hell. There's no best friends in hell. There is no spouse in hell. Oh God, my husband, my wife. No, it ain't none of that. Every man is accountable, the Bible says, for himself on Judgment Day.
So before we go, because we have a little time left, but let's go back to that. You said, if I believe in God, and the other person didn't, I lose nothing, but they lose everything. So let's go a little deeper into that. If you believe in God, but the other person did not believe in God, and it said that you died, your eternity was nothing, as he said. It was nothing. And the other person died, they said eternity, and there was nothing as well. You've lost nothing. But if you were right and they were wrong, you've gained everything, they've lost everything. Which is why the reason I'm pressuring that is because many people don't think about that. They think of why believe. Because they see a lot of people, like true believers of Christ, are hated today.
Yeah.
Jesus was hated. Jesus even tells you that you will be hated for his sake.
His name's sake.
For his name's sake. But you have to be prepared for that. How much do you guys care if you're hated or not?
I don't care.
It happens so much you don't care anymore.
I don't care anymore. I used to care until I got delivered. I got delivered for so long.
I used to care a lot. At some point, you was like, you know what? You're irrelevant, man.
You're
What did you say?
no.
What did you say?
I mean, at the bottom line, if another human being, at some point, that other person's opinion is irrelevant. So when some people say something to me, I'm like, let me know I value your opinion. The only 3 people opinion, which actually 2 people opinion I care about, is Jesus and God. At the end of the day, it's me and them. Nobody else over here. You guys are over there. Do your stuff. That's me.
Yes.
There you go. So with that said, we're going to have to close down, but we'll have to do an altar call. If you want to make things straight, you want to know Jesus, and move from this point on a clean slate, please come to the altar right now. We'll get that fixed. Anybody, I want to make a clean slate right now.
Humble.
We're going to clean slate right now. Come to the altar. Because again, you're going to lose everything if you don't come. But if I was right, I gain everything and you lose everything. But if you are right, we both lost nothing. If that makes any sense.
Amen.
Continuing this day forward, he will know you, and you understand you. He wants you, Lord God. He's eager. So from this day forward, Lord God, come to him, because he's opened his arms to you. He's going to pray. Amen. Father God, he comes to you humble today, young and strong, and humble. Wants to come to you directly, wants to know what to do. Give him answers, Lord God. Read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Give us everything we need to know what to do. Amen.
Well, let's all stand to our feet as we get ready to close. We wish we didn't have to do this, but we do. And so, how many of you were blessed by the word and understood a little bit more than before?
Amen.
Understood a little bit more. As we get ready to leave, before we go, let's wish, Brother Quinn, come please. Let's welcome Brother Quinn. Give him a hand clap and just say, we love you. We're family. We just want you to know we love you, my brother. We love you so much, and thank God for you. Thank God for you.
Yes.
And we want you all to know, and let's say happy birthday. He is a Libra. That's why I love him so much. I'm playing. I'm a Libra too. Yes. October the 7th. We celebrated last week. My brother Quinn is turning 25 years old. 25. Let's keep it there. Just, God knows our heart, right? So let's wish him a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And he is Ambassador Quinn. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Let's sing it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Quinn. Happy birthday to you. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. We want to wish you a happy birthday. We want to wish you a happy birthday. We want to wish you a happy birthday to you. Somebody put your hands together and say happy birthday. Well, until we come back again, may God continue to bless each and every one of you until we come back again. Who